Chapter 25. You always have a choice. Growing up, I used to fantasize about being older so I wouldn't have people telling me what to do. I would finally be able to do what I wanted. Well, that's what I told myself. Back then, the choices I got were to clean my room or be punished. That didn't seem like much of a choice. Things felt out of my control, and most of the time, choice seemed like an illusion. As I got older, this situation didn't seem to change much. It seemed like I had choices, but again, they didn't seem like real choices. For example, I could choose which university to go to, but I was expected to go to the best university I could feasibly get into. When I missed out on the qualifying grades to get into the university of my choice, my father drove me up to meet the admissions tutor in Manchester. It wasn't my choice to go and meet him, and I felt resentful at having to spend half a day trying to convince someone that I was good enough to attend his university. He didn't agree, and I'm sure my attitude didn't help convince him either. As I got older still, I started to feel responsibilities. There were my responsibilities in my job, my responsibilities as an older sibling, as a son, as a friend. I often felt that on one side was really what I wanted to do, on the other was what I really should do. Yet all these things were wrapped up in the illusion of choice. I could either do what I wanted and be judged as selfish, or do what I was supposed to but didn't want to do and be seen as responsible and mature. No wonder I didn't have the best experience of life. When I started to get a deeper understanding of my psychology, my concept of choice started to shift. I saw that I saw if nothing I did had any power to make me feel a certain way, then my old way of thinking no longer made sense. The only reason I didn't want to spend an afternoon helping my father clear out rubbish and take it to the local tip, or recycling centre as they're now called, was because it looked like that activity would be tedious and boring. It would make me feel less happy than doing something else. However, if the act of helping my father was neutral, that is, if it didn't have the power to make me feel one way or the other, then I really did have a choice. Or, should I say, I was able to choose without the misunderstanding of thinking that one choice would make me feel better than the other. I felt great freedom in this. When I let go of thinking that I didn't really have any choices, I became far more helpful to people, not just my father, but virtually everyone I met. Because now, when I was faced with a choice, a real choice, it felt natural to help. Some may see this as me growing up or finally maturing, but I understand it as a result of dropping misunderstandings and tapping back into what I've always known. Just like when I was a child sharing my sweets, when I drop my misunderstandings and overthinking, my natural tendency is to help, to share, and to be kind. It's been such a blessing to understand this as a newly married man. There are many things my wife would like to do that at first seem less than exciting: grocery shopping, furniture shopping, painting the apartment, and doing housework were never at the top of my to do list for a weekend. However, knowing what I know now, it didn't take long for me to realize that I can enjoy spending time with my wife doing anything. I also have a choice not to do a given activity, but now I no longer base that choice on the misunderstanding that something will make me feel bad, upset, frustrated, or anything else. Imagine how the world would change if we all understood just this one thing more clearly. What if the one thing you've been putting off had no power to make you feel bad, sad, bored, or uncomfortable? Ooh, that's a big chapter, isn't it? Because think how often we make choices based on how we think it's going to make us feel. Oh, that's huge. That's massive. God, that's going to be really profound, I think, for me to reflect on. I still make tons of choices, I think, based on the fact that I think something will be more fun than something else. So I've still obviously got a lot of superstitious thinking in there because oh, and by the way, that's not a bad thing. You'll notice I'm not kind of bothered by that. I'm not going, oh my god, like I'm not seeing it, and I should see. Look, I'm sitting here making videos to share with people. Surely I should be perfect. No, not at all. That's a misunderstanding in itself. There's always more for us to see. There's always more opportunities to see things in natural reality versus seeing things in conditioned reality, what we think is true. So, what we think is true is that making certain choices, doing certain things, not doing other things is going to make us feel a certain way. It's just not true. It looks like it's true, but it's not actually true. So, what can you think of? What can you think of that you do because you think it'll make you feel better or stop you from feeling worse? When, as a matter of fact, it's just your thinking and feeling naturally ebbing and flowing during the course of a day. I'm going to have fun with that one. Let me know what you make of it. See you on the next video.